The market is human. It's very organic. It's very real because we're organic. We're real. We created the market. So therefore it would be real and it would be organic. So there are going to be times where everything is going to be changing in the markets, including you as a trader and your profits and your losses. But you can't come up with excuses if we're not losing money. If you're not making money trading, you're doing something wrong. It's something that you're doing. But it does come in cycles. It does come in waves. There are times where you guys, there's days and or weeks and or maybe months where you guys will do really, really well. And I won't. Maybe I just do okay. Or maybe I break even. Like March. Guys, March was a bad month for a lot of people. But there were 4 or 5 traders who emailed me who just had insane months in March. 20 plus R's. And then I asked them in April, I was like, hey, how'd your April go? April didn't go that great for them, but it went great for me. I mean, it's all cycles. It's all cyclical. It's all human nature. Everything comes in waves and moves in waves. That's how the market works. That's how trading works. That's how profits work. You can't create excuses. I think, high frequency traders, they work, they exist, but you can trade around them. High frequency traders don't really bother you unless you live here. If you live here, high frequency traders and algorithms can bother you because it's very, very difficult to catch these moves. Very difficult on the 1 minute. This is where HFT, high frequency traders, live right here. This is where algorithms live. And they create the algorithms, they create whatever the platforms they want to do. They create whatever formulas they want to create, and high frequency traders make money, but not all of them. All right, you guys got to keep that in mind. There are many high frequency traders out there who go broke. There are a lot of black boxes that do not work. They spend a lot of money, a lot of software. Well, granted, a lot of it's probably because of the startup cost. But at some point, at some level, trading is simplistic. And the more you go into the rabbit hole, the more you will hate trading. As crazy as that sounds. The more you go into the rabbit hole, the more there is there. Right? The more complicated you want to make your trading, probably the slower and the worse off as a trader you'll be. I hate to say it, but it's more or less the truth. Like if you really, really try to complicate trading, it's going to become very complicated. Why? Because it's endless. It does not exist. It's just like math. It's very similar to math. How far can math go? Well, guys, unfortunately, I'm a nerd, and even though I'm not very good at math, I can talk about chaos theory in math and lose all of you. Because that's what chaos theory is. If it can happen, it will happen. It's infinity. It's infinite but finite at the same time. What do I mean? Let's take an example. 1 to 2, the digits 1 to 2. There is an infinite amount of numbers between 1 and 2. It never ends. They never end. They can go half and half forever. Yet, 1 does at some point become 2. When? It doesn't, but it does. Right? 1 never reaches 2. 1.999 forever, infinity. But at some point, 2 is reached. But when? It doesn't. That's the point. The farther you go down that, and the more you start thinking about the math and irrational numbers and pi, the circumference of a circle, you'll never know the area of a circle, ever. You can get really, really close, but you'll never have an actual understanding of how big a circle actually is. No one knows how big a circle is because pi is an infinite number. So therefore, there's an infinite amount of space within a confined container of a sphere. I know this is getting really off tangent at the moment, but what I'm trying to say is that's what trading is like. The more you start complicating it, the more excuses you create, the more indicators you make, the more formulas you present, the more strategies and the more ideals and the more situations and the more candles and the more setups and the more algorithms that you make for yourself, you're just going to make trading harder. The easiest and the best thing to do, and that's why I try to do my best to create real life trading in this formula, is let's find out how we can make it so simple and just do that over and over again. Let's make 2 or 3 things. Retest gap, gap and go. Retest gap, trades down, comes into 10, rolls over. How's it roll over? Evening star reversal pattern or 1 black crow. I made videos on both. Boom. There you go. There's your retest gap. So you do that Monday through Monday. Your birthday, your mom's birthday, Jesus' birthday. You trade the exact same way all the time. And then you begin to improve. How do you improve? You improve yourself. How does yourself improve? Becoming more disciplined, following your plan more, doing more self-talk, doing more self-exploration. Whatever it is that you have to do to grow as a trader, becoming more patient, right? Focusing on other things other than trading, growing your other bank accounts, paying off your debts, growing your relationships. What good is being an amazing trader and having a sensational amount of money if you are not happy, if you have no one to love, if you don't love yourself? It's all a rabbit hole. All life, you can just keep going and going and going and going and going. At some point, all humans do is search for certainty. That's all we're trying to do. We're trying to search for the key absolute answer. But ladies and gentlemen, there is no, in my personal opinion, key absolute final truth other than if you are alive, you are alive. That is an absolute truth. If you want to determine why you're alive, no one's going to be able to tell you for you. There is no right answer. You have to come up with it your own, and it scares people. That scares people. Why am I alive? There's no answer. You have to create it. You have to create the answer for yourself, and you'll never know if you're right, but you just have to go down that path and find out. Pat Kaufman says, now we don't even want to get into time, which is not linear. Exactly. Yes. That's totally it. There's always another area, another thing to explore. If you're saying to yourself, I am alive, are you what dimension are you alive in? Are there other dimensions? Are there other times? Are you moving really, really fast in another time zone and really, really slow in another time zone? And maybe you're a doctor in another frequency, and it doesn't matter, right? We know that those other frequencies, we know the string theory exists. There's so many things out there to complicate everything around you. That's why philosophy was created, to give us a break. That's why religions are created, to provide certainty. That's what humans look for, is certainty. But the only thing you can be certain of, ladies and gentlemen, is yourself. And the simple fact of the matter is, as long as you believe what you believe and you do what you do and you are who you are and you know that, and you focus on that all the time, that's what makes you a person. And there's nothing else you can go down. There's so many other perspectives out there, guys. There's so many. There's always things to think about, always things to contemplate. And that's why, and as simplistic as it sounds, real life trading, that's why I called it real life trading, because trading is just an extension of who we are. Doesn't matter what stock we're looking at, doesn't matter what we're trading, doesn't matter how much we're making, how much we're losing, does not matter. Trading is an extension of life. We do it, we enjoy it, we love it. But trading is about becoming the person you have to be in order to trade successfully. That's the journey of trading. That's the goal. I know that was a little bit of a massive tangent, but what I'm trying to get at is, in every aspect of life, you can create excuses. In every facet, business, relationship, there's every avenue you can possibly take and more you haven't even thought of. Tomorrow could not be here. Today is what you have. Understand, in life, there really are no certainties. As much as we try to struggle and change, we have to create certainties for ourselves. So if you're a person who craves certainty, and there's a lot of you out there, Angie's one of them. She'll admit it any day. Angie loves certainty. I like certainty. I don't love it, but I like it. If you want to be certain of one thing in the market, it's going to change all the time, every day. That you can be certain of. So if it's changing, you're going to have to change with it. The only way you can change with it is by growing, progressing, getting stronger, becoming more disciplined, becoming more focused, and being, of course, a real life trader.